No doubt, we shouldn't downplay the military achievement of the IDF, especially in the opening strike. In my opinion, the opening strike will be studied in military academies for many, many generations to come.
Dr. Jacques Neriah is with us. Jacques Neriah is a veteran security expert with a long record of achievements. The main question I want to start with is, did we win there in Iran?
No doubt. We shouldn't downplay the military achievement of the IDF, especially in the opening strike. In my opinion, the opening strike will be studied in military academies for many generations to come because it was truly an unbelievable act of genius, really something exceptional. The combination with ground forces and special units actually enabled Israel to withstand the barrage of ballistic missiles fired at it. That's one thing. Now, we also shouldn't forget about the top brass, the top scientists, the ground scientists have been eliminated. The army commanders have been taken out. Meaning now, this morning, Mr. Khamenei says, "Bring me the chief of staff." They'll say, "Who is that? I don't know him at all." Bring me the Air Force commander." "Who is that? I don't know him." That's it. Now, remember, we're talking about an 86, 87-year-old man who's been used to talking to the same people for 40, 30 years, and now they're not there. This is a very serious crisis. That doesn't mean the Iranians, who have a history of over 3,000 years, are the ones who will surrender easily and raise a white flag. They'll do everything they can.
Before you continue, I want to bring up two things. First, you told me in an earlier conversation about that American from Westmont, if I'm not mistaken, and what he said regarding this victory of ours. I'd like you to mention that to tell what was said there in the article he published. But I want to bring up something else. I read the news, I get my information from the media, and suddenly, in the past 2 weeks, I see a wave of all kinds of reports from Israel and abroad about an impending war, starting with Minister Lieberman, the former Minister of Defense, who said he predicts that the war with Iran will resume in 3 years, and ending with those who say that within a month or two we'll be at war with them again. And what about you?
Well, I say this as the saying goes, prophecy was given only to fools. We need to look at reality. The reality is that right now we have an enemy who is still very active. And the fact is, where is he? Where is most of his activity? We need to remember most of Iran's activity is not directed at Israel. Most of the activity is directed against Ahmadinejad's regime. This has already happened twice. Just yesterday, Israel announced that it had caught an Iranian cell inside Syrian territory. That's one thing. Second, about a little over a month ago, there was an attempted coup against Ahmadinejad, which was initiated by the Iranians together with Hezbollah and the Alawites in the Latakia area. And in that attempt, in a single day, Latakia was set ablaze, Tartus was set ablaze, Homs, Hama, and the entire northern region up to Raqqa, and the remaining regime was caught off guard by this. But to his credit, he still had enough power in the Idlib area, where he brought in the Chechens and the Syrians who carried out the massacre. We know what they did to the Alawites, poor people, right? Those who slaughtered 500,000 Sunnis, so they decided you should pay them back with a few hundred.
Good you added the word poor. Yeah, go on.
That's it. Yeah, so now they're the poor ones. That's why I say Iran is trying to break up Syria, because Syria is the link that connects Lebanon to Iran. It's the link that enables the arc of the axis of evil, the Iranian axis, Lebanon, Syria. Let me remind you, who from the Iranians said that they control 4 Arab capitals? Well, that's over now. The moment Syria was out of the game, basically Lebanon was out too, Iraq was out too, and who's left? All that's left are the barefoot and sandal-wearing Yemenis.
Listen, I'm reading the situation through you, and I have to say, first of all, I was really shaken by that report. I want to point it out, the one you put here on the table. The report that most of the efforts of the eye today are focused on Syria. To me, that's a huge well. Glue that I... Does this mean that before long, maybe even today, we'll find ourselves defending Ash'ara, meaning Mr. Gilani, meaning the new Syria, that we are the defenders just like we defended the Hashemite dynasty in Jordan for decades?
There is a shared interest for both sides, and above us sits the United States, which has a completely different interest in creating a new map, one that is anti-Iranian, anti-Shiite, and essentially creating what I call the belt of peace, which, in my view, will exist in the distant future.
That's fantastic. You clarified the elusive Syrian picture for me, which until now I hadn't expected to see, and now I feel like I've made progress in understanding it. One last question. Are we likely to have a formal agreement with the Syrians, or is that not going to happen?
I think let's lower our expectations. If it happens, let's say, we'll be pleasantly surprised. I think that right now Syria wants to restore the previous situation, meaning Rahman wants to return things to how they were before December 8th, the date when he took control of Syria. In other words, for Israel to withdraw from the territories it captured since December 8th. That buffer zone that separates us from Syria, according to that same agreement from 1974. That's the first thing. Once that happens, and of course an Israeli withdrawal from the Syrian Herman, and to stop interfering in various places there, inside the Syrian Lodja. That's one thing. Secondly, actually, we could talk step by step at a later stage. First of all, let's get to War Island. If we manage to reach a non-aggression pact between us and Syria, that would be enough for the coming years.
What is our next step regarding Iran? And with that, we'll really wrap up.
I think, first of all, we need to prepare. There's the famous Roman saying, si vis pacem, para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. And we have to look at this distant front as one that is actually very close and could end up coming our way. And we have to make sure that we never run out of, let's say, ammunition, that we never lack the essentials, and of course, that we have a reliable and lasting strategic alliance with the United States. That will be, so to speak, the ultimate defense against Iran.
Thank you very much, and we will talk again. Many thanks to you. Thank you all for being with us. Goodbye and see you next time.